I have pushed the button. It's a Married with Channels podcast. Hello there.
Hey.
I'm Moose.
I'm Jody.
Yeah. And we do this podcast where we look at TV shows, review them, sometimes movies. And, Oscars are coming up this weekend. Whoops.
We got to one of those nominees.
Maybe we can squeeze out one before. I don't know.
I don't know either.
There's barely time for one a week.
It's all right.
Let's get into, we got three things to get to. Pieces of Her, Turning Red, and Our Flag Means Death. We'll start with Pieces of Her on Netflix.
Yeah.
Which is the television show version of a novel by, I want to say Kristen Slaughter is her name.
Yeah, that sounds big.
Yeah, it's definitely Slaughter, but Toni Collette's in here, and she's kind of the biggest name out of the group. There's a bunch of faces you've seen before, or a couple anyway, but you don't know their name.
Sure.
But basically, it's kind of a unraveling of a past type of story. And there's a lot of flashbacks, and this woman has been in witness protection for many a year.
Mm-hmm.
And there will be spoilers coming here, so if you haven't watched it, be prepared. We'll try and give you a little warning closer too. But Pieces of Her, it's like 8 episodes on Netflix.
Yeah.
I can't imagine there'll be a season 2.
Probably not.
Unless the author of the book writes another one and it makes sense. But
I don't know.
What'd you think of Pieces of Her?
I thought it started out good. I was really into it and couldn't wait to who is this person? What's going to happen next? And kind of that unraveling. But then I'll say I hated the last episode and the ending.
Yeah, I'm with you on all of that.
Yeah.
It started out great.
Yeah.
I mean, that first 15 minutes was, whoa.
Yeah. Caught your attention, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. There was an iota of something was going to happen. And I'm not saying I saw that something like that was coming in that diner/restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
But when they said that guy keeps staring over here and they cut to that guy and he had this really sinister look. I'm like, oh, that guy's got issues.
Yeah.
But I didn't think he would, do what he did.
Sure.
Which kind of set the wheels in motion for the unraveling of Jane is her real name.
Yeah. Who is this Laura?
Yeah.
Yeah. Laura is her witness protection program name.
Yeah. So it started out great. The first 2 episodes I'm in, but starting episode about 4, it just kind of dragged out a little bit. And like you, the ending, the last episode was not satisfying at all.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going on a walk on the beach.
Yeah. They could have probably ended it 20 minutes before it actually ended.
I think so. I'm trying to.
The scene where he gets arrested, just end it there. After the cavalry comes, just be done there. I don't know why you needed all that extra stuff after.
I think they're trying to really go for, the mother-daughter relationship, because I think this story is all about mother and daughter stuff.
I mean, I think that's there, but it's really a story of who is this woman? What happened to her?
Yeah, but I think they use that as a way to develop a mother-daughter relationship and the complexities involved with that. But it's just, none of it really worked too good.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this a lot, and Pieces of Her, to me, seems like it's a story that is best served in the novel form.
Maybe so.
Where you're developing your own characterizations of these people. I think the stuff they provided, it's just, there's not enough meat on the bone for the visual medium of TV and movies there.
Yep.
And maybe that's just a matter of bad writing and direction.
Maybe.
For the show, because, there's been a lot of really good, thrilling movies that didn't have, super action set pieces and, spy versus spy bullshit.
Sure.
But this, I think, was just better suited for the novel. And I don't know the numbers on the book sales. I imagine it's pretty good if if Netflix commissioned a TV series on it.
Sure.
But yeah, it teased you with a really good start. Then after that, it's just meh.
Well, and even some of the kind of the subplot lines, not that I need everything super obvious, but even some of that was a little like, that could have been done better. Like the daughter and the U.S. Marshal, them kind of flirting, but it wasn't super obvious. And then like, you know, he eventually asks her out to dinner. And I'm like, oh, so he does like her? Like what? They could have kind of built that chemistry a little bit better, I think.
Yeah. Short of them like having a love embrace in the motel and making love that night.
Yeah.
There could have been more seeds planted that made you think these two might like each other in the long run.
Yeah. They also didn't build up the bad guy enough for me. Like, he's just some guy. Like, why does he have such a hold over people? Why does he get people to do things? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really understand what his...
Yeah.
Because the first 2-3 episodes, they made him out to this real big, you know, boogeyman.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, she's terrified of this person.
Nick's gonna come get me.
Well, and even throughout, she made the comment, like, I did anything he told me to. You know? Like, well, but... How? Why is this guy so, you know,
it's
influential
almost like,
on people?
It's like they wanted us to believe he was kind of a cult leader, but we didn't get any evidence of that in the flashbacks. He was a leader of this, you know, I don't want to say terrorist group, but this group that was trying to cause change by any means necessary. But I didn't see any like casting of spells over people, not literally, but, you know.
Yeah.
Because even when in the flashbacks when she was younger, she was defying him.
Yeah.
And, you know, even trying to get out of there.
Yep.
And then there's that scene where he, you know, punched her pretty bad and closed the door on the room there.
Yeah.
That was the only real flashback I remember where he was a vile piece of shit.
Yeah.
Other than that, he just seemed like a guy who really believed in what he believed in.
Yeah, he's championed for a cause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was no like David Koresh type of shit going on there or L. Ron Hubbard to where people are like, take my money, Nick.
Yeah.
Take my life. I will serve you.
Yeah, even the other people in the group, they weren't afraid of him. They also were kind of champion for causes, you know. They were. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. They just didn't build up the bad guy enough for me there.
Yeah, no, the person they built this story of, the characters this person they alluded to didn't match what we got.
Yeah.
Both in the current time and in the flashbacks.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was expecting this like borderline serial killer bad motherfucker who's stabbing a grandma because she took the green M&Ms when, you know. But yeah, like we said, he's just a guy who believes in what he believes and he's good at leading people and that's it.
Yeah. There wasn't real big bad scary guy going on there. And I mean, the scene, obviously, you know, any domestic violence is frowned upon in my book.
Obviously, yeah.
Anytime a man puts his hands on a woman, like, okay, you're really rotten guy. But and that was kind of towards the end when you're already supposed to think that he's this big fearful guy. I don't know. To me, that just didn't match up either.
No.
I think too, I didn't understand something else. Another subplot that I didn't quite get was the relationship that Laura had with her father. It was.
Oh yeah. Like they insinuated, but never really kind of laid it out there that her father was the father of her child.
But that's not true. Nick is the father of her child.
Yeah, but they kind of.
I know they kind of toyed with that. Like, wait, what? And then, like, I didn't understand the scene where he drugged his daughter. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh no, what is he going to do to her? Because he kept talking it up about how special and different she was. And she's so special to him. And I'm like, oh, this is creeping me out. Yeah. Is this like incest going on here? You know,
we're going down a road I'm not comfortable with.
Yeah. But then they just said, like, she just kind of brushed that part off. Like, he tried to kill my baby. He's trying to do anything to prevent this child from being born. It's like, oh, that was the point of that, not to rape her or, I don't know. I didn't get it.
Again, it's like a thread that they didn't bother to tie up.
Yeah. But it was there. You were aware of it. So it's like, what was the point there? I don't know.
Here's the opening scene from Pieces of Her in the diner where the shit goes down. That's like, oh, wow, this is going to be good.
Do your job. Where's your fucking gun?
She doesn't have a gun. She's not a cop. She just works for them, answering phones. So, you can go now.
You fucking fake, useless bitch!
Wait. Shoot me. Andy, go, Andy, go! Go get help!
And right about there is where he pulls a knife, stabs her in the hand, and a couple of seconds later, she cuts his throat with the blade that's in her hand. That's like the only cool scene in this movie.
That was crazy.
Or TV show.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And
that was where I was like, oh, this is going to be good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was, and that was also that in the next episode. I was thinking, oh, this is going to be good because Toni Collette doesn't usually sign on to bad stuff.
Sure.
And I don't want to give anything away from possible Oscar talk, but she made a bad choice with Nightmare Alley.
Yeah, I didn't like that movie either.
She's made a couple bad decisions here. This one was not that great.
Sure.
I don't know. Anything else on Pieces of Her?
No, I mean, if you're looking for something to watch, maybe check it out, but set the bar low, I guess.
I'd say skip it. I'd say skip it. I think there's probably about 4 other things you could watch besides Pieces of Her.
Yeah.
Look, Toni Collette's great. The acting overall is pretty good, but it's just not a good, cohesive story, in me opinion. Moving on.
Yep.
All right. To what the kids are watching. Yay, children. Enjoy your apple juice.
Well, we watched this too.
Oh, yeah, but Well, look, everything they watch, we watch for the most part.
Yeah, they are in control of our television for most of the daylight hours.
We watched Turning Red.
Yeah.
This past weekend or the week before, whatever.
Yep.
The Disney Plus Pixar movie about a young girl who has this thing in her family where she, when she gets all wound up, she turns into a red panda.
Giant red panda,
yeah.
She just goes poof and she's a furry giant red panda.
And it's okay. I didn't really love it or...
Oh, really?
I'm guessing you liked it.
I did. I thought it was funny. I thought it was cute. I liked it. I did. There were a couple things that I didn't like within the story, and don't spoil the end for me because, full disclosure, I did fall asleep at the very end.
I forgot you fell asleep.
Yes, I did. Sorry. So I have to rewatch the ending of this movie, but...
You actually lasted longer than I thought.
Yeah.
Because we watched it. It was like a Friday or Saturday night.
Yeah.
And all the lights were off.
Yep.
Dinner was in the tummy. I figured you'd be asleep within a half hour, but you made it through, I'd say about 3/4 of the thing.
At one point, our child looked at us and was like, I think Daddy's asleep.
I think I did zone out a little bit. Yeah,
you did go to sleep a little bit too. But I don't know. I liked the movie. I thought it was cute. I thought it was funny. I don't like the, 13-year-old girls running away to go to a concert without adults.
Like, yeah, that really bothered you.
That bothered me because I'm like, no, don't do that. Your families don't know where you are. Like, something bad could happen. At least tell somebody what you're doing.
That mommy spidey sense going off there, yeah.
Yeah, totally. But I thought it was funny and cute. And, you know.
I thought it was just okay. In the Pixar canon, it's definitely not in the top 10. I liked the main character, Mei-Lee, yeah. May. I like the main character. I like her friends. But nothing about it really kind of rung for me, you know?
Sure.
Rang the bell, so to speak. But, if your kid's going to be watching something, I don't think there's anything there that's really troubling aside from, the kids running off to the concert by themselves.
Yeah.
But,
But yeah, it's good, cute, fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I recommend it.
Yeah. If you got Disney Plus, go check it out with your kid.
Yeah.
And finally, just real quick, Our Flag Means Death, which is from Taika Waititi and somebody else. The guys who did What We Do in the Shadows, which is on FX, which we love.
Yes.
So I saw the trailer for this, like, oh, they're doing essentially What We Do in the Shadows, but with pirates. I'm in, like the pirate stuff.
Yeah.
Like the What We Do in the Shadows, win.
Sure.
And we watched, I think we watched the first 3 episodes, maybe 4.
Sure.
And it's just okay.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have that snap that What We Do in the Shadows, at least season 1 did.
It has some funny chuckle moments, but it's not grabbing me or holding my attention. It's just, I don't know. There's nothing there for me, really. Kind of boring.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I call it boring. I would call it not living up to expectations.
Sure.
It's fine. I'll watch it. But it's definitely not What We Do in the Shadows. And a good indication that it wasn't going to be as good is the fact that it's on HBO Max. And I'll tell you why. Because What We Do in the Shadows is the Taika Waititi, I forget the other guy's names, show. And it's probably at least a moderate success, enough that they've had 2, maybe 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So when that happens, the network you're on gets first refusal for anything new you have.
So they passed.
So it looks like FX passed on this.
Mm-hmm.
That opened it up to shopping it around to other streamers, networks, whatever.
Sure.
And to me, it's like, well, if FX is passing on it, it's probably B grade.
Yeah.
Their B material.
Not their best. Not the best. Not what they're expecting, maybe.
Yeah, and I don't want to shit on it because I don't think it's a bad show. I think it's one of those shows, and I'll use the example Parks and Rec. Like the first season, Parks and Rec, it was good.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yep.
But it really hit its stride season 2.
Sure.
And we won't go into why, but the fact remains that Parks and Rec season 2 is when it really got good. So maybe this is a show that needs some time to marinate and find its footing and get its voice, Are you
going to stick it out to find out?
I probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might be one of those shows I put on while you fall asleep on a Saturday night at 10:30,
Yes.
Like I said,
you know me all too well.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not bad. It's just not What We Do in the Shadows. It doesn't have that sparkle.
Yep, I agree. And I kind of check out when you watch that. So
might go watch it tonight.
Okay. I'll fall asleep on the couch.
All right. I think that's going to do it for us.
Yeah.
On this Married with Channels podcast, the married couple doing the TV reviews.
Sometimes movies, sometimes documentaries.
Movies. Nightmare Alley sucks.
Yeah. I did not like that.
I don't know why that's nominated for an Oscar. It's just so bad.
None of them really stood out like, oh, I want to see that, this year. I don't know. Maybe that's still pandemic production woes,
Maybe.
Who knows?
But follow us on the your podcast provider. Give us a good review. Give us a follow on Twitter as well, @MarriedWChans.
Share, tell your friend.
Until next time, I'm Moose.
And I'm Jody.
We'll see you.
Bye.